Hey team, welcome back to another Joy Jam. Today we're going to be talking about the power of perspective. And I'm sure you've heard this many times about looking at your different vantage points, different opportunities. But let's dive a little bit deeper today to see how perspective can actually become your power. It's a powerful tool that you can use to empower yourself. And the power of perspective can actually create a new perspective, new you, new view, all the rhymes, all the things, and new layers of you. So that comes with the expansion and growth when we choose to have a new view. And it's a choice. As you're going to hear me say time and time again, that everything, so many things are a choice in your life. And you participate in creating the life that you're looking forward to. So I want to share a personal example of perspective that happened just this week. So just this week, I was going to my regular exercise spot. And at this exercise spot, they always tell you where you have to start your exercise. So you're either going to start on the rowing machine, on the treadmill, or on the weight floor. Now, normally, for the first couple of months, every time that I came in, my name was always assigned to a rower. So what I knew was I would go rower, treadmill, weight floor. Then about 3 to 4 months in, they switched it to me starting primarily on the treadmill. And at first I was like, whoa, this isn't really how we do things, right? Because my perspective was, I know the way. I know I'm certain that it's going to happen this way. I know how I'm going to feel. I know how this works. Felt really good, really juicy. I could trust it. And now we throw in a different starting spot, a different starting point, and I'm going now in a different order. Now I'm going treadmill, weight floor, rower. And at first I felt my whole body resisting it. But it didn't take very long until I was like, okay, this actually feels really great. Actually, now I like to do it in that order. I prefer it in that order. It was actually felt even better than the first way that I did it. Well, this week they switched it up again. It's been a couple of months. Maybe they realized it was getting too cozy and they put me on the weight floor. And it's my least favorite thing to do first. Because for me, the cardio part always feels like the hard part. And I just want to get it out the way. I want to get all the hard stuff done first, and then I can enjoy the rest and kind of just like move into my group. Strength training is like my go-to. It's my old reliable, and it feels really good in my body. I know how to do it. There's no question. Anyways, so I like to end with that. So starting on the weight floor, I came in, I saw my name on the weight floor, and I was kind of like, eye roll. I don't want to start on the weight floor. That same thing that I felt when they shifted it the first time was bubbling up again. But you don't really have a choice. So you go to the weight floor and you do your thing. And I'm like, okay, this is okay. Still didn't really love it. The next day I go back, hoping that my old reliables, even at this point, I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'll go to the rower first. Just put me on the rower or the treadmill, one of the other cardio first. And my name was on the weight floor again. And I turned to my workout buddy who was with me and I said, we got to tell him to stop putting us on the weight floor first. And I kind of, as I said that out loud, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to let him know that my preference is that I want to end with the weight floor. Put me anywhere else, but just not here first. And so then my mind quickly started going into this realm of, weight floor is so horrible first. All the stories. I chose to have the perspective of, I don't like this. This isn't how I want to do it. This isn't what I know. This isn't what's reliable for me. This isn't certain, right? And it just made the experience less enjoyable and a little more of a struggle. As the exercise segment went on, and I got to go to my treadmill, and my energy started to shift, I started thinking about the perspective that I was allowing myself to have or not have, and how I was holding myself back from an opportunity for growth because I had immediately chosen that I could only do it the way that I had always done it. When in reality, this new perspective was allowing me so much expansion. It was allowing me to view things differently. It was allowing my body, my mind to have this experience so differently, and allowing me to realize that the order doesn't actually matter. What matters is that I get a new perspective. I show up, I continue to grow, continue to heal my mind, body, soul by giving myself that hour a day to feel better in my body. That's really what matters. And in that moment on the treadmill, I decided, you know what? I'm going to surrender here. I don't need to be in control. I don't need to tell somebody that they need to change which part I start on or end on. What I need to do is change my relationship to perspective. And I wanted to share this with you because I think there's a lot of things that were happening in this particular instance that you can carry on in your daily life as you look at how you do things the same all the time. Trying to keep things the same a lot of times is to avoid the unknown. And that's what I was doing in this experience. Now, why do we try to avoid the unknown? Because when we don't know what's going to happen, a lot of fears tend to pop up in our busy brain because our brains are wired to keep us safe. And when our brains come up or bump up against something that we've never experienced before, it goes, hold on, let's make sure this is safe. This might not be safe. And it starts creating scenarios and stories in which you may not be safe. And so it's just important to be aware of that, especially in many, many situations where you are safe. It's actually an opportunity for growth and expansion. So the fears that really pop up at a deep, deep level are oftentimes, can I do this? It's questioning our self-worth. If our capabilities, it's questioning so much of what's in us. So a lot of times those fears will be like, can I do this? If I start on the weight floor, can I actually continue the momentum that I've always have? I've never done it like this before. Can I handle it? Will I be able to follow through? Can I handle this? But the biggest one is, what's this going to feel like? What's this going to feel like? Our brains don't like anything that feels unfamiliar. Our brains don't like anything that is unknown or uncertain. And so really the question is like, how is this going to feel for me? Is this going to create emotions that I can handle? Is this going to create physical things that maybe I like or I don't like? And the root of it all is, can I handle whatever feelings come up? Can I manage whatever situation comes up? And if you give yourself the benefit of the doubt and just say, this is a perspective that I get to shift right here, then you begin to take your power back and empower yourself to do things differently. And that's when we create change and transformation. So this is why it's super important. And a lot of times we want to be in control, or we think we want to be in control, but control is just a protector. And more than likely, if you're watching this, you're a grown-up and we don't really need those protectors anymore. We needed them when we were younger. And so we tried to control or manipulate the situation so that we didn't get hurt emotionally, physically, all the things. So it's not actually control that we're looking for anymore. It's consistency. Why? Because consistency creates certainty. And certainty, if you watched the video that I did on your body is a bank, that one's so important. Go back and watch that one right away after this, because certainty makes deposits into our trust bank. When we know things, when we recognize things, when we repeat things, it creates more trust deposits in that body bank. But here's the key to using that powerful perspective. The key is to invite in a healthy relationship to uncertainty and create Trust deposits from uncertainty and the unknowns. That's when we take our power back. That's when perspective becomes your superpower. Now, hang with me a little bit longer, because remember, when we know things, we feel really good, we feel really solid, we trust ourselves, we take action. But the key is, if we can shift our relationship to when things feel uncertain, to just go, hold on, this is a really cool opportunity for me to gain new perspective, for me to learn something new, for me to grow and expand, for me to see what happens, and for me to make deposits into my trust bank from a place of uncertainty. Then no matter if you have certainty or uncertainty, known or unknown, you now have shifted that perspective. And regardless of what happens, you're making deposits to your trust bank. Deposits to your trust bank are so important because they allow us to take action, be courageous, be brave, take risks. And those things are necessary for our own personal growth, change, and transformation. Are you following me? Now, this last part is really important. Regardless of the outcome in our situation, regardless of the outcome in our situation, whether it's in our favor, or let's just say what we wanted and expected, or not what we wanted or expected, regardless of the outcome, we want to make sure that we can make deposits into that trust bank. So there's two ways, right? So the first thing that happens is you go after something unknown, and it's not what you expected. It's not what you wanted. You get to use the perspective of, look, I did this thing that was unknown, and I'm still alive. I'm still here. I'm still okay. I'm still enough. I'm still loved, right? I didn't love how it felt, but I'm still okay. And this is giving me now, because I know I'm okay and I tried this thing that I didn't know, it's giving me a deposit to my trust bank. Like, it's all right, good try. Didn't work out how you wanted, but it's okay, right? That's the power of perspective. Because you can also look at that situation and go, see, I tried that thing, it didn't work out, I don't like how it felt, and I'm never going to do it again. How are you going to choose to view? How are you going to choose your view? How are you going to choose to view it? What perspective are you going to choose to have? Or option B, you try this new thing, try the unexpected, and it is what you wanted. Everything worked out. And you get to say to yourself, wow, when I try things that I didn't know, look, sometimes they work out. The point is here that depending on what perspective you choose to take, if you're willing to move into healing the relationship to uncertainty and the unknown and allow it to serve you, it's a win-win. You'll win regardless of the outcome. And how amazing is that? So I invite you this week to change your perspective up. Maybe you're going to start small. Maybe you're going to sit in a different spot on the couch when you watch TV. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel unknown, but it's going to create a new perspective. Maybe you drive a new way home from work or to the grocery store. Take one different road and see what perspective it gives you. It's going to feel unknown. You're used to going this one way. You're used to doing the things. Change one thing about your morning routine. And if you don't have a morning routine, maybe do something in the morning to start that morning routine. So I encourage you this week. That's my invitation. My call to action is start working on healing that relationship to the unknown and the unexpected to make perspective a powerful part of your being. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what things you're trying on for size, what things, how shifting this perspective is serving you, what questions you have. You can drop them in the comment section, or you can hit me up on Instagram at joyfullybee. It is a pleasure and a treasure to be a part of your human experience and journey. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Go out into the world, shine your light bright, and live a limitless life. See you soon.